What's up? What's up? Whoa, feedback. Where's that coming from? It's like 4 weeks in a row that I started with a mistake. Anyway, hello. How is everybody? Happy best day of the week. My hair looks funky. I don't know why. It's just a ponytail. It's been a day. Anyways, no worries. What's up? Ooh, I am all over the place today. Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome to The Next Show Will Be Better. I'm your host, Mandy, in case you didn't know. And we do have some things to talk about. I think I don't know. We'll get to it in a second. But we also always, as always, have you guys, which is what makes the show what it is. We got your comments, your super chats, your questions, comments, concerns, and all of that, which we discuss throughout the show. And so if you could do me a favor, before you forget, before we get involved in our conversation, if you could hit that like button, that would be great. And if you know someone who might enjoy the stream or might want to see what's going on here at the Hickson Diaries, make sure you hit that share as well. And yeah, let's just get right into it and see if we can make this show better than the last, because it only gets better when you guys are here. Let's see who's joining us. Do. Hello, Falco, welcome. Hello, Diane, welcome. Disco, welcome. Tried and true. Who's going on my shirt too? You would think that I did not prepare. I swear I did. Manny, welcome. Manny, what's up? Diane, I'm not sure if I said hello, so I'm going to say hello again just to be sure. I know I got you, Disco. I don't know if you all saw my post, but I was working on this while I was waiting for my train home, and I almost missed it. I was sitting on the bench waiting for the train, and I'm doing some stuff on my phone, and I'm just kind of involved, and I literally hear the train coming, and I see it past me, and it didn't click. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get on this train. It's already like stopped, and I gotta walk a few minutes. Luckily, a lot of people get off the train, so I had time, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, what am I doing? I'm there like 15 minutes early waiting for the train, and I almost missed it anyway. See how much I put into this stuff for you guys? I get so involved, and I want to do such a good job for you that I almost miss my train. Anyways, so anyone have any ideas who that might be? Just curious. Oh my God, I hear you, Manny. Manny, who's one of our members, says, feels so super topped up with vitamin D thanks to this lovely, warm, sunny weather. Long may it last and hopefully get hotter. It should get hotter. It's supposed to get hotter tomorrow, I think, right? I'm loving it. I get to be out in it a little bit. I'm loving that too. Not as much as I would like, but hey, I know I'm extremely dedicated, Manny. You guys don't know. You don't know how much work I put into this channel. You guys probably do know. Because I talk about it a lot, and you guys all know. You guys all have been around for a while. Diane's loving this weather too. I don't see why anyone wouldn't. I know people who like the rain, and it's a little bit chillier. It's got that damp air, that British damp air that you guys love. That you're famous for. I don't mind it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, this is definitely better weather, in my opinion. Long days, warm weather, sun sun's out, warming your body, clear skies. This is the best. It's the best. The only thing that would make it better is if my feet were in sand somewhere. But I'll live with it. Oh, so do we have any guesses? Put some guesses in the chat. Do you guys know who this is on the screen? I need to know. Manny says, it can rain all it effing likes in autumn. LOL for all I care. No. I have to disagree with you on that one. I don't mind the rain, and I've definitely come to appreciate British weather. But if I have a choice, I'm always going to pick this. Always going to pick the hot, warm, sunny weather, clear skies, all that. But that's all I have to say. Hello, Stephen Field. Thank you for joining. He doesn't have a clue. Understood. Manny says, I have no idea who she is. Disco says she seems familiar. Diane and Falco, do you guys have a guess? Just curious. Whew. Manny asks if she's a TV presenter. Sort of. No, not a TV presenter. My bad. Diane says she looks like me. Really? Interesting. Manny asks if she's American. She is American, yes. Falco says he loves the British damp weather. It reminds him of being on exercise in the forces. Really? Yeah. I know people who really enjoy it too. It doesn't have to be like raining or anything. It's just like the cool fall, autumn weather. Anyways. So let me know when you all give up if you want to. I'm really, really curious. Mick MacArthur, hello. Mick, you have to email me. You have to email me. I've been trying to find your email. You have to email me. Please. Thank you. Steven says Donald Trump's mistress. Not likely. Mick MacArthur says it's Mandy or a close relation. You're right. It's me. Well, it's an AI version of me. TJ said Monica Lewinsky. There's worse people to be called. It's me. So I was working on some stuff for the channel, and I was doing like they were doing an analysis of like my thumbnails or whatever. And they said, oh, would you like to try to generate some like AI versions of some of these and see what they look like? I'm like, okay, sure. What the hell? And turns out this is what I look like in AI apparently. And it reminded me of a post that TJ did where she did like an AI version of one of the puppets that she created. And I was like, oh yeah, I look much better in the AI generated version. And my hair definitely looks better. I'd like that hair. Anyway, well done. Well done, Mick. It's really funny. I'm really getting used to the AI stuff. I've been using it a lot lately for various things, random things. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I start using this likeness in my thumbnails? Do you think it will boost my channel and then I'll get disappointed when they click on it and they see this? Anyways, I thought that was fun. I thought that'd be a fun way to open. You should do it, TJ. It's kind of fun. Oh, I still have the banner up. My bad. So I had a plan which I worked on. And I got some things out and, was organizing some stuff. And then I sat down to prepare and I thought, I don't know if I want to do it because I'm kind of in a good mood. And it was the beginning of that was kind of a downer. So I might have to save it for something else. So I was thinking that maybe I would throw it to you guys and give you some suggestions and see what you come up with. If you guys want to just have a chat or do like a Q&A or just see where the night takes us or what. I have some possible topics if we get into a lull or we don't know, if you guys don't know what you want to choose or whatever. Let me know your thoughts. Manny says you could do several AI versions of you to throw us all off course. I might do that. Like that whole week's like for a week and just to see feedback, just to see if it made a difference. Hello, Scott. Thank you for joining. Don't worry about being late. It's cool. Don't worry about that. TJ said there's already an image of me out there. I know. There is. There's several. Probably me as well. Mick MacArthur says, I thought it was the nose that made me think it was you. And I've tried to send you my email, but it just keeps getting returned saying not delivered. Ooh. Well, I don't want you to put it. My keyboard's battery is dead. Sorry for the shaking. You're using this email address, right, Mick? Just confirm that you're using the right email address for me. Let me think of something. Give me a minute. Because I don't want you to put your email address out there in public. Falco wants to talk about the Trade Discrimination Act, a bit dodgy. Are you talking about the trade agreement between the UK and the US? Because anything that's trade with the US is dodgy right now. Or just the trade shit that's going on in general, which is also pretty shady. That's TJ's likeness, TJ's AI likeness. I'm sure that's not true. Oh. Manny is being very British and indecisive. Thanks for that. Diane says that she nearly missed the start. She lost track of time, just like I did. It's very easy to lose track of time when you're doing something that you're really passionate about and something you really care about. I'm finding myself becoming a tad obsessed with this channel and all of the like ideas and plans I have in my head. I'm kind of at a precipice where I need to still work for money because YouTube isn't quite, isn't paying the bills or anything. But I have all these ideas of things I want to do that I don't have time to do because I'm working. So like in this constant like conflict in my head. But I've settled into the new job a little bit and I've, been finding free time, not like a lot of free time, to be honest, but like I've been finding a rhythm of how I'm working through the day most of the days. And it's giving me, when I have breaks, I'm setting up breaks throughout the day where I can like check stuff or get stuff down or edit or whatever. I'm also like at that point where I'm trying to decide if it's worth investing in help to try to see if that'll help push me over the threshold and all that other stuff. Anyways, So I just need some clarification, Falco. I'm happy to talk about it. I just want to make sure I'm talking about what you asked me to talk about. The whole trade situation, from what I understand, from what I read on the UK-US trade uh, agreement, which I was very interested in, obviously, uh, was really that it kind of pretty much just went back to what it was, and then no side really benefited either way that much, except that the tariffs were lowered a little. My take is that like Trump just doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and he just throws stuff out there in hopes that like people come to the table. Like this, the whole tariff thing, the whole Liberation Day with tariffs on every country was really just his way of saying, "Hey, come to us. We're, this is the opening negotiation, and if you actually want to do business with the US, then you're going to have to come to the table with something." And a little bit of a flex for him. He likes tariffs for some reason, but he doesn't do them properly. In my opinion, which by the way is limited. Like, don't take any kind of political or financial advice from me, because I am definitely not an expert on either. Manny says Trump backed down off his stupid tariff war with China and cut the tariff down by 115%. What was the effing point in his so-called Liberation Day tariffs if he had to eventually back down? This is the thing about Trump Trump doesn't have a plan. He's not a very smart person, and he doesn't think things through. He's very much like a tester, like a beta tester, and he throws things out there and he sees like how the reaction is and what he can do with it. He's also somebody who likes to go to an extreme and like say an extreme or propose an extreme, or in this case, put tariffs on everybody that are extreme, to create havoc, and then this way he can quell the havoc and be the hero and look good. I mean, it's very juvenile, but it's very ego driven as well, and both of those are Trump. So I feel like that's kind of how he operates from my experience living in the US under a Trump term. But I also think that he doesn't really understand a lot about what it takes to manage people or to run a country, or I don't know if he really does know how to negotiate, in all fairness. I think that whole like art of the deal thing that he's famous for that's his book, by the way, in case anyone didn't know. I think that whole like he's a terrible businessman. He's bankrupt. He's gone bankrupt like 12 times or something. He had 3 casinos at once in Atlantic City, all opposite each other, and they all went bankrupt. Like he's a nepo baby that blew most of his money. So I don't know why people think that he's like a great businessman or anything. I think that it's just very misleading, and he's really good at marketing, and he's really good at creating opportunities to make himself look good. So he's survived. Anyways, I mean, I'm happy to talk about all of that more, but I know that that's not really what y'all come here for. TJ says she's lucky because hubby doesn't care what you do. That's always a good position to be in. Falco, you and Diane follow a lot of the same channels, huh? That's cool. Are there any that I know, just out of curiosity? Oh, thank you, Manny. I am spot on because I'm very smart. TJ says, in my opinion, it makes him look daft. I agree. I think anyone that has any kind of common sense, it looks daft too. But there's a lot of people out there that aren't, at least from a US perspective, there's tons of people out there that aren't seeing things through a clear lens. You know, their vision and their view of the world at the moment is very tainted, either by propaganda, by misinformation, by their anger or their frustration with their situation and being in survival mode, or, you know, something else that's happening personally. And they just are looking for a savior rather than, you know, trying to better their situation themselves. But again, you only have so many resources at your disposal immediately, right? To try to better your situation. And sometimes you need government help, and that's what governments are for. And Trump doesn't understand that. He thinks that it's a business, and he thinks that it is something that he just can benefit from himself, and he's supposed to turn a profit. As long as he's making a profit, he thinks everything is good. But that's not how you run a country. You don't run a country like you run a business, because you can't. Because people's well-being are involved, safety's involved, other nations are involved. You can't just run it like a business. I was having a conversation with someone at work about that. How they were really eager to see how Trump would do, and that they were pulling for him to do well because they thought that he should run America like a business. And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, that's not how you run a country. It's very different. Very different. You're right, Manny. I agree. He like I said, he did bankrupt at least 3 that I know of from Atlantic City. And the only reason he had 3 open was because he wanted to see his name on all 3 of them. Like, he wanted a 360-degree view of Trump. So that's why it was Trump on each one. And that is not just me saying that. That's actually in someone's book who worked very closely with him on those casinos. I can't remember the name of the book, though. But if I find it, I'll let you know. If I come up with it, I'll let you know. But that's what it is. Mandy, the other day I saw Z and Sin feature one of your videos. Really? Who are Z and Sin? I don't know them. I know I did get a react from, I think, I'm going to post it this week. I can't remember. I think it was Island Girl to Flow, I think it was the name of the channel. She was really lovely. She lives in Alaska. God help her. But yeah, she was really lovely. I watched it. It was really good. Scott says, I love a lot of the US-based reactors. So it's Eclectic Beard, JT and Anna. It's JPS, Regeneration Nation TV, and of course, Manny. Oh. I know it's JPS, Regeneration Nation TV. I don't know JT and Anna. I don't know Eclectic Beard, but I will make note of them. Disco is one of our members, as he watches all of them as well. But I'm the best, right? I'm the best. Duh. Oh, look, Manny also follows all of them. So basically all of our members follow all of these people. Nice. Island Girls. Yeah, that's it. Island Girls. You guys are right. Yeah, she is absolutely lovely, Scott. You're right. I thought she was really, really sweet. She was really kind, but not in like a fake way or anything like that. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I started watching a few other of her videos actually, because I'd seen some of her thumbnails come up, but I just had never like stopped to watch them. I don't always like watching other people's reactions to content. I don't want that's misleading. That's not true. I do watch other people's reactions, but it's not my go-to. Like, I'd much rather watch original content from people. But so it's like, down on the list. So if I don't have a ton of time to consume content because I'm creating a lot of content in my free time. So but what I do watch, I like to watch original content if I can. So um but I did really enjoy her react and a few channels that I've seen. Um there's another American couple. They do a lot of military stuff as well. Deb and something, I can't remember. I know they're in my subscription. It's two women. I can't remember the other woman's name. They're really funny. I like them a lot as well. And then there's a couple with the one partner's American, one partner's Scottish, and they moved to Scotland with their family in the last year or so. They're fairly new, their channel, and they're really good as well. Plus a few others. I'm sorry that I can't remember their names, but I'll put links to all of it below when I list this up for you guys. Plus TJ, I watch all of TJ's stuff because obviously she does have a good laugh, Scott. She's fun. Oh, Disco says yours is the only one I've become a member of. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so good. Oh. Is it just because they didn't offer membership? Don't tell me. You'll ruin the dream. Reacting to My Roots is another good husband and wife channel, Steve and Lindsay. Yes, I've seen a couple of those as well. That's what I'm saying. I just don't get a chance to consume a lot of content. And I like certain videos that I've already talked about a few times that you guys are probably sick of me talking about. Steven says Zach and Annie. Yes, Zach and Annie. That's the newer one, the Scottish one. You're right. They're really good. Yeah, he was a cop. You're right. Good call, Disco. Yeah. I want to be able to watch a lot more of that stuff because just get ideas, try to create more community contacts, network and all that kind of stuff. I just never I feel like I never have enough time for anything lately. And then I'm squeezing stuff in constantly. And it's a really frustrating, exhausting mode to be in. But hopefully I have a long-term plan. So hopefully that'll be it probably isn't going to go the way I planned because since I moved here, nothing's gone the way I've planned, but at least it'll keep me on a trajectory. Positive one, hopefully. Yes, please press the likes. I appreciate it. So, what do you want to talk about? You have any ideas? Do you want me to talk about my sad story? I can talk about, or we can talk about. Oh, I'm gonna talk more about American fascism if you'd like to. And I don't say that lightly at all, but that's a serious thing as well. We could do some fun stuff. We could talk about my namesake that I've discovered recently. And we can also see we can watch some Eurovision clips if you want, because I haven't seen any of those yet either. Oh, thank you, Manny. Yeah, I put that gun laws one out. That's a different one. I don't normally do videos like that. And it was something I had been thinking about for like a month or so, because I wanted to do it respectfully, because I respect anyone's comment, even if it's a different point of view, even if it's something that's criticizing me, because I don't want to, I believe in free speech and I believe in conversation, and that's how you deal with things. That's how you find solutions to things. So I definitely never want to shut down any kind of conversation or any kind of opinions or anything like that. But coming from the experiences that I've come from, there's no possible way that I'll ever agree with that person. But I wanted to explain why. And I wanted to explain, why I felt so strongly about it. So I hope it came off that way. I know it's, like I said, different than I normally would do. It's definitely more serious. Um, but I just felt that there's certain things that I feel like in life you can't, I don't want to say ignore, but you can't not talk about, right? You can't not acknowledge. And safety in America is one of those huge things that you have to be concerned about. And it's getting worse because, people are getting more and more um, pit against each other and more angry and more frustrated. And what happens in the US affects the rest of the world. And we have to be honest about that. And the fact that they think the gun situation is okay the way it is insane to me. And I don't know that I'll ever change my mind on that. I'm not gonna say never, because life is, you never know what life's gonna hand to you. But I've shot a gun. My father shot guns. My partner has been to the gun range several times. I knew policemen. I knew hunters. I knew, people that had experiences where they just walked into people's homes and it was the gun was just laying on, a table. It's just, it's very strange. I mean, I know people who tons and tons and tons of stories with people who had guns that were registered and they had everything legal and they still got, in a difficult situation, and some of them got very injured and died from that. So it just doesn't seem worth it to me in the end of the day. And as I said at the end of the video, the one thing that gets me is the kids. Like, I'm never going to not advocate for the safety of children. And once it hits them, it should be a no-brainer. And it was for the UK. I don't understand why it isn't for the US. I mean, I understand why it isn't, but I am in a catch-22 situation, Diane. Sorry, I lost my place in the comments as I was rambling. Oh, thank you, TJ. It's very encouraging thoughts. One step forward, two step back. Very encouraging. Thank you. You're right. And even baby steps will get me there someday. That's the important stuff, right? All right. Manny says some Eurovision. Diane says my namesake. Three years of residency before you can apply to be a cop. That makes sense. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Disco. I appreciate it. Your generosity. Growing up in the 70s, everyone watched Eurovision. I like it. Some of it I think is silly, but I mean, I think it's about the act, right? But some people take it very seriously. Some people take it very non-seriously. And I don't know. I take it somewhat seriously because I just have a musical background. So anything that has to do with music, I take seriously. But I do think some of it's fun and I can laugh at it. Any chance to laugh is always a good chance. It's always a good time. Oh, thanks, Falco. I appreciate that you're in my court. We need some people on there. I need Americans in all fairness, there's a lot of Americans, like citizens, that think there should be like mandates on the guns. There should be background checks. There should be a universal registry so that if you're in one state and you have commit a crime with a gun or you have a mental illness or something like that, that you shouldn't be able to buy it in another state. There's just the problem is it's a state by state situation. And so there's no federal mandates at all, really. And that means that you could just go to another state and get it if you want. And you're technically not supposed to transport firearms across state lines, but I mean, unless you're committing another crime where they're searching your car or something, who's going to know? And then it's a whole hunting. The self-defense thing about guns comes from it really being a wild frontier for a long time. And in some places it still is. And in some places, not that many. and also hunting derived from that and is now a sport that's regulated. I mean, anyway, there's a whole long history about it that I've thought about going into as well, but I don't think anyone would care. TJ says, I just can't wrap my head around gun law in the U.S. It's got a long-standing history, and part of it's from the Second Amendment, but there's a huge history before, America won its independence from Britain, that guns were necessary. It was very, very necessary. There's a lot of wild animals that can kill you in the U.S. It was a wild frontier that no one knew. It's vast forest that you couldn't see through. And also there was an ever-increasing native population that wasn't happy about how, the treaties were being made and then broken and all of that. And they were being annihilated. So there is a lot of conflict, especially with like the Mexico area in the Southwest. So, and when we were pushing west, there are so many pioneers that literally were in the middle of nowhere, and they were territories at the time. They weren't states. So technically any of the US laws didn't really apply. So it was kind of like a free-for-all. So that it comes from a whole lot of that kind of history, but we need to modernize it. I mean, we need to update it. And it does say in the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia. So, and military grade weaponry should not be in the hands of some 18-year-old that just turned 18 yesterday or something. Like that shouldn't be in the hands of anyone, in my opinion, but sorry. I'm obviously very passionate about that subject in particular. Manny says, in the U.S., there should be a very steep cost of owning a gun license, like anything from $500 to $1,000 to $1 million. This will be steep enough to deter any ordinary person. I don't know if I agree with that. I understand where you're coming from, and I do think there should be very strict laws on it, but I don't know that it should be necessarily a monetary thing, because then you exclude a large sum of people that might be responsible with it, and you encourage people who have a lot of money and time in their hands to use them as toys. So it's a different. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I like the idea of it. I just don't know if it would be realistically actually benefit the U.S. in the state that it's in right now. Anyway. Oh, thank you so much, Scott, as our member with the generous super chat. Appreciate that. You've never owned one and never want to either. I've never owned one, but I've shot one, and it was not fun. It was really overwhelming. Like, I'm used to being around them and around them with people who use them safely, and take good care, put them away properly and all of that. Very responsible, but I'm also been around people who don't, and it's not fun. What? Your son is playing in a charity football match? That's awesome. That's so cool. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, don't worry about not being here. Definitely go. That sounds like fun though. Best of luck to him. Steven's correct with his comment that the U.S. arms industry has a lot of clout in the U.S. government. Yeah, so they have this thing called campaign contributions in America, which I know they have here, but the law, it's not necessarily just individuals. Businesses and corporate interests and big lobbies, big business basically, is allowed to donate as much as they want to any particular campaign or candidate or party. And The gun lobby, which there's several of them, there's more than one, but the collective, they actually donate to both the Republicans, which are the conservatives, and the Democrats, which are the liberals. They donate to everybody because they don't want anything to happen. They don't want any regulations, and actually gun sales actually increase with every mass shooting in the US. That's the state of the US. And that's under like rulers. That's under leadership that is relatively loyal to the Constitution. And now we have a leader who's not so loyal to the Constitution. So who knows? Eurovision is too political now? Really? I didn't get that sentence, but I saw it last year. TJ, Manny, I have very strong feelings about the subject. TJ, you have very strong feelings about most subjects, in all fairness. Oh, Mick MacArthur says, Eurovision, I would rather watch paint dry. Sorry, Caps, Dozy Bint? I don't know what that means, TJ. There should be I agree with you, Manny. There should be very strict conditions and fees as far as like licenses and background checks and safety checks and all that kind of stuff. Agree with that. I just don't know if that specific suggestion would work in the US, that's all. But it might. I don't know. I mean, I'm open to anything, to trying anything that may actually help save some lives, especially children's lives. Oh, I get it. You did it on Cat Z. Never mind. I figured it out. Don't make fun of me. Don't you judge me. Just go. I've seen the Holy Grail too. I love the Holy Grail. Amendment is a really good word. They changed it once, change it again. Yeah. It's really hard to get an amendment to the Constitution. It's got to like be put into it. It's got like 12 steps or something. Like, ironically, I don't remember exactly if it's 12 or not, but that was funny that's where I went. And you got to like have it pass Congress, have it pass both houses of Congress, have it be signed, have it be ratified as well by at least like 40 of the 50 states or something along those lines. And it has to be done within a certain period of time in order for it to actually become an amendment. And I think that you even need like approval from the judicial branch as well in some way before it can actually be amended to the Constitution. It's really, really hard. There's some people that are actually working on trying to amend the Constitution with a clause that takes the bribery out, that takes like that the campaign finance laws, basically money out of politics, they call it. To revamp that. And there was a time when the Equal Protection Act, I believe that's what it is, ERA, Equal Rights Act, where they couldn't pay you less if you were a woman and some other things like that. They actually were close to ratifying that as an amendment, and it never got through because they couldn't get enough states. So they tried that twice, actually, and neither time it got through. But I don't think you should stop trying, definitely. Gun law in the U.S. dates back to the War of Independence, well before that, in my opinion. I think it's a mentality from living as pioneers in the wilderness. Like, that's our origins, basically. Having to shoot our own food and everything, protect our land from wolves and, our lives from animals and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was bad. There's a lot. There's actually a lot. I was reading an article a couple weeks ago that there's like 100 different animals that can kill you. There's just animals in the U.S. that are like native to the U.S. or that region anyway. Hi, Rich. Thank you for joining. You said I watched a Cops episode where an old deer stuck her handgun out her back door and nearly took out a cop. I mean, it sounds funny from this angle because it's so extreme and seems preposterous because of it, the extremity of it. But yeah, I mean, I've seen people with it on their hip like it's, 1820. Not cops. It's really crazy. Falco, you are ex-forces, and I don't think that gives the right to a gun, and rightly so. I agree. I don't think so either. I think, it's something to be taken into account when you apply for a license, but that doesn't mean you automatically should get one. I actually think they probably should be more apt because they want to make sure your mental state is okay from your service, because that's often overlooked as well. Not just civilian way in general, like mental health, but definitely service men and women. Their mental health isn't always looked after they, have finished their duty, finished their tours or whatever service that they've participated in. And, they shouldn't have access to guns if they're in a bad mental state where they might hurt themselves or someone else. Nobody should. I mean, if you're not of sound mind, you can't drive a car, then you shouldn't be able to fucking have a gun. Take your kids away if you're not of sound mind. Take your dogs away. I mean, I remember in the U.S., we had to go through a background check for our dog. And it wasn't just because it was, a dangerous breed. It's everybody. It was customary because we asked. Crazy. Thanks for respectfully answering my comment. You're welcome. I try really hard to be respectful. I don't want to alienate anyone for having an opinion I don't particularly agree with. I mean, I could be wrong too. It's been known to happen a couple times, once or twice. Now Manny's talking about football, so we might have lost him. Have you seen Jim Jeffries' comedian Gun Control? Yes. I love Jim Jeffries, actually. I actually seen him live in America. He's really, really funny. But yeah, that gun control bit is hilarious. And all based in fact. Like, it's not just an opinion. It's just like, yeah, when you think about it, you're like, doesn't really make any sense. Sorry. I'm not sorry. It doesn't make any sense. All I have to say is, like, there's been several shootings. The Sandy Hook shooting, if you guys want to get some context for how bad it really gets in America with the school shootings, particularly the Sandy Hook school shooting and Uvalde, Texas school shooting. Just look at some of the details of those shootings, what happened during, what happened after, and where we are now. And it's devastating. It's devastating. So I'm not take anything away from any adults that have lost their lives, because I know tons of people have lost their lives unnecessarily to guns as well. Not personally, but I'm saying stories-wise. And nothing to take away from them. It's just as tragic. It's just like children. There are babies. They're our future. They're the future of our country. We can't even keep them safe in school, a public school. I really wasn't going to get on the gun topics, you guys. It's all your fault. I'm blaming you. Mick MacArthur says, I like the wee Congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett. She calls out the BS. I like her too, but I think she has a little bit of seasoning. Like, she needs to be polished a little bit more. She's really, really good, and she says she knows what she's talking about, and it makes lots of common sense, and I agree with her on a lot of it. But I think her approach, while I think the combative approach can be really useful in a lot of situations, not always can be palatable to the public. So I feel like she not needs to tone it down a little bit, just maybe figure out how she can say her message in a that would be more broadly appealing. Because I feel like she's in a niche right now, and it's a good niche to have. But if she ever wanted to expand it, um, it's great. But I love seeing her go at it at like committee meetings and stuff like that, where she doesn't hold back. I think that is the perfect approach for that setting. I think other settings, though, sometimes she might be a little bit too aggressive. But then there's a lot of other people that I think are way too timid. So I'll take her over any of those guys any day. I like her though. She's really good. You're right. I agree with you. It just goes to show, coming out of Texas too, which is traditionally conservative, that people are the citizens are actually starting to change their mind on a lot of things. D. Scott, who's one of our members, says, a few years back, a man from my city, Dundee, was in the U.S., got lost, and the mistake of knocking on someone's back door, got blasted and killed with a shotgun. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is horrific. Yeah, that's the right to protect yourself law. That's the right. And in America, if you're on someone else's property, they can do that. They can protect their property. Like, that's why like going on footpaths was like huge for me. I'm like, you can walk on this, it's someone else. I feel really uncomfortable when I walk on other people's properties. And someone walks through my backyard because we have a shared gate, and I'm like, my immediate reaction as an American is like, what the hell are you doing in my backyard? I actually know of a story where a teenager was going to pick up his sister from the person who was watching them after school. And he knocked on the wrong door. And the person in the house that he knocked on thought that he was threatening them and shot him and killed him. He wasn't threatening. He didn't have any weapons on him. He wasn't being aggressive in any way. He just knocked on the wrong door. Just like the man from your town. I don't understand why it's not acceptable. Just because it's your property doesn't mean you have the right to take someone else's life. That's my argument. And I have a pro-life argument, period. I mean, not as soon as you're able. I say pro-life and then it gets into an abortion thing, which I'm not a pro-lifer on abortion. I'm a pro-choice on abortion. But I'm pro-life in the sense, like, I don't even think that there should be state mandated murder. Like, I don't think that you should have the death penalty. I don't believe in it. So if you commit like the most heinous crime in the world, and I still don't think that we should take your life, then what gives you the right to take some stranger's life just because they're on your back porch? There's other ways to deal with that situation. Let's do a reset. And Wild Turkey's gotta call me for a brand deal. Oh, Scott said he wanted to ask directions, but the occupant shot him with no warning, which is horrible. Oh. That's the thing, right? And that's why it's scary when you don't know where you're going. Like, the laws are all different in every state because there's not a federal mandate. The laws are different in every state. So in New Jersey, where I grew up, very strict gun laws. Not a lot of people had guns. If they did, it was very rare. And they were a policeman or they were a hunter, and they usually had them in a safe. In Pennsylvania, especially in Philadelphia, which is a big city, not known for its courtesy, I know someone who was working and had to go into someone's home to do the service that they were working at, and there were guns just laying on the living room table, on the kitchen coffee table. No idea if they were legal or not, and he was there just working. Like he walked into that situation, and they were like, I asked them about it. I was like, were you scared? Were you uncomfortable? Or were you just like, eh? And they were like, no, I was nervous because I'm just here to do a job. But like if something goes wrong, I don't know who this person is, right? And I have guns just at their disposal, like right there. Anyways, I'm laughing because it's like I have to, right? Because if you don't laugh, then you're gonna get bogged down in the despair of it and in the hopelessness of it and all of that. So you gotta find something to keep you going. But it's really hard for people who never lived under it to understand how difficult it is to live under it. And it's not like I even lived in like a really crime ridden or violent area. I lived in suburbs most of my life. But the problem is you never know who has a gun. You never know what state they're in, which state of mind they're in. You never know if like accidentally, say I'm driving on the highway and I accidentally cut someone off, not even realizing that I had cut them off, and they're in a really angry state, and they decide to somehow get me over or follow me to my destination, and they have a gun. Like you don't know. You have to be so careful, and it's that like underlying anxiety that's with you 24 hours a day. Then you have children and you send them to public school and you have no idea if you're going to see them again, on top of the regular underlying anxiety. It's really hard. I mean, even now, I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that there's no guns. I've gotten over the mentality for the most part here, but there are times when like I'll hear fireworks going off without realizing, the fireworks are supposed to go off or something, or a large bang, like a large branch falling, or whatever, and just hearing the pound. And it freaks me out for like a few seconds because that's my instinct. So it's just, it's almost PTSD. You don't realize how effed up you are from living under that kind of stress all the time until you're out of that situation and you're assessing it in a much safer environment. The other thing is police have guns, and you never know if you're going to get caught in a crossfire. You never know if you get pulled over and you say something wrong, or they don't like your attitude, or they think you're a threat in some way, if you're going to end up getting shot by a policeman, because they have the right to do that if they feel like they're under threat. Or if they misconstrue something I'm doing on the street or in my own car or anything like that. It's really tense. Again, it's hard to explain to people who don't live under it, but it's really, really difficult. Wow. Because years ago, a doctor said in a report that I might have depression means I can never hold a firearm, full stop, ever. But the thing is, I don't want to. Well, I mean, I don't know that. I mean, that seems a tad extreme. If it was years ago and it was, may have depression, that seems a tad extreme. But for me, I'd rather err on the side of caution and extreme than what the US has, where children are getting shot and you can get shot in your own home. There's another story of someone who got A man and a woman were in their apartment sleeping, and the police banged down their door, rammed their door and raided their home because they thought they thought they had the right home, but it was actually someone else's home that they were supposed to be raiding, or that the perpetrator was in. The man had a gun legally in his home and was sleeping and got woken up, obviously. And he went to find out what the hell was happening, and he ended up getting shot. He and his and the girl and the woman ended up getting shot as well. She died, and he was severely injured. He was in his own home sleeping, and the police made a mistake, and she lost her life, and he was very injured. And he was defending his home at that point. So like it's really, really, really dangerous to have guns out like that. So okay, I don't know if I've put that across yet on this channel, but it's dangerous. Don't do it. Diane asks a question. Are there no laws about guns being locked away in the home? It depends on the state. And in a lot of cases, there are laws that you have to have them safely secured. But there's also states where you don't. Like Pennsylvania, where we lived before we moved, there isn't. I knew people that had guns under their pillows when they were sleeping, in case someone broke in the middle of the night or something like that. But I also know people who had guns for that purpose and got robbed, and they never knew till they woke up the next day. So, I mean, I never want to have a gun. I hope I never, ever have to shoot a gun. I know I can if I need to, which I felt like it was a skill I should have acquired just in case. But hopefully I'm in a place where I never have to worry about it now. But I don't want to be around them. I don't like them. I don't think they're worth, I don't even get the collecting. I don't get the, I don't even get the sport of shooting it. Though I know people that have and enjoy it, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, because there are places, like I've gone to a shooting range, and the shooting ranges in America that I've gone to have been very safe. They're very conscious, of making sure that nobody gets hurt. There's always a trained professional there with you that hands you the gun, loads it for you, all that stuff. So like, I'm not taking anything away from that. People enjoy it. I know people do enjoy that. And I know people who enjoy hunting and are very safe about it. But I personally don't want to ever be around it. I never want to own a gun. I never want to have anything to do with them ever again. If I never saw one ever again or heard about it ever again in my life, I would be fine. It's a tough subject. Manny says, no worries, Falco. Growing up, seeing what happened in the horrific U.S. mass shootings at schools, colleges, and public events, and in Des Moines really turned me against guns big time. Yeah. It's starting to get to be where there's people, like young adults, who've actually are hitting their second round of being involved in some kind of mass shooting. Like, they were involved when they were a kid, and now they're involved like at the college or adulthood level as well. It's absolutely unacceptable. Sorry to raise this again, but a Dundee born 23-year-old was killed by a 15-year-old kid after the Scottish family had arrived in Utah. So there's a Scottish family that arrived in Utah that obviously had a 15-year-old child with them, and a 23. Oh no, I'm sorry. So the Scottish family arrived in Utah, and then the 15-year-old kid shot and killed a 23-year-old. Probably with a gun that was in their home. I almost guarantee it was a gun that was in your home. There are lots of shootings that originate with weapons that are in the home. That's part of the reason why they shouldn't be in your home, in my opinion. It is appalling, Manny. I agree with you. You're right, Disco. Absolutely unacceptable. And I don't know if you had a comment there, TJ, but it's blank. That's so like mortifying. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not. All you have to do is be angry. Like, think of domestic violence, situations, or think of like your worst day when you're grief stricken, or you're going through like a horrible breakup, or you just got fired or evicted or something. Things like that are happening all over the world every single day throughout, 20 times a day at least minimum, right? In all different cultures and all different, sects and all different levels. And then imagine in your worst moment, your absolute worst moment where you were just like completely not thinking straight, nothing like that. And you had access to a weapon like right next to you. I mean, I've been in states like that, state of minds like that. And I like to think that I was okay and I wouldn't have reached for it in any capacity, but you don't know what you're doing in those states. So that's why it just shouldn't be easily accessible. I mean, the safe is having it in a safe, having the weapon in a safe and the ammunition in a different spot, which is a lot of states have those types of laws. That's something, because like the Jim Jeffries comedy sketch, Gun Control, highly recommend it. Go look for it if you can. By the time you get to the safe to load it and everything, you've calmed down. Or he also does this spot where it's like, all right, so you have it safely stored in that capacity, and then someone breaks in, and it takes you, by the time it takes you to go and get your gun to try to defend yourself, they shot you. So what's the point? It just doesn't make sense. This is his landing page, I think. Scott's like, that's me, finished with depressing stuff. No problem, TJ, I get it. Yeah, it's not worth the effort. So, okay. So, we've just passed an hour, so we've pretty much talked about guns the whole time. Sorry about that. But hey, it's a conversation. I'm gonna tell you about my namesake real quick. And then maybe we'll save that for next week. How intrigued are you guys? Because if you're very intrigued, I'm going to save it for next week. Because I think that's fun. I have a idea that I'd like your feedback on. So let's end on a lighter note. I'm thinking, I have no idea if I'm actually going to be able to pull this off. So this is still just kicking this idea around. But what do you think of me doing some kind of live marathon where I just do reacts basically the whole time to a lot of the stuff that y'all have been suggesting and talking about that I never get to? I don't know. I mean, 24 hours kicks in my head, but I have no idea if I could actually do that. But it would be a challenge. And all the money that I raise from that goes directly to the Royal British Legion to help us with our fundraising effort. What do you guys think of that? Or do you have a variation that might be more fun? Thoughts, comments, reactions? I don't even know if I could actually do it. I could, because for a good cause, so I could do it. It'd be a lot of coffee, and I probably wouldn't look that great by the end of it, but I could do it, I think. And I might have to do it like from my bed with like 5-minute breaks for, for bathroom breaks and stuff. But I would do that, something like that. Like I want to do some kind of challenge like that to raise money for the RBL because I want to make sure we hit our goal this year. And we're doing really good, actually. We're doing very well. But I want to make sure, like I want to cement that sucker. And whatever this thing is going to be, it's going to have to be planned out. Like it's going to be a little bit of an undertaking, right? So I need time as well. So I don't want to wait until like December. um TJ says no, too much going live takes it out of you. It does, but I mean it's fun as well. And I like having having this interaction. I don't get to have this interaction a lot. Disco asks, could you do a 24-hour? I've done things similar for charity. So give me some feedback on it, Disco. Like what was it that you did? Was it like a physical activity or was it something a little less strenuous? And how did you mentally prepare for it? And tell me the details, obviously, of the charity and what you did because I'm nosy as hell. Mandy says, that's a great idea, Mandy. A marathon of reactions for a good cause. That's what I thought. I would do a lot. There's lots of British stuff that I want to see. Serious and fun. And, just things I want to kind of learn about and catch up on. And I thought that'd be a good way to do it. And, see if I could. I know there won't be people watching 24 hours because people have lives and you need to sleep and take care of yourself and stuff. But I feel like it would be a good effort. But the thing is that I would need the day before off, right? So that I could rest and be well rested for it. And then I would need the day after off because I would be a mess. So it's really like at least a 3-day event, plus any of the like planning and preparing that leads into it. So that's why it's a little bit daunting for me because I don't have a team or anything to help me either, right? Like I'm on my own. I have you guys. I have Disco, who's the best moderator ever, and I'm so glad I have him. But I don't have like a team behind the scenes to help me produce stuff or think of things or keep me awake or anything. So I don't know. TJ says, I've done 4 hours and 7 hours and never again. I have been on your stream where you've done it like 3 hours, and then I was like, I'm done. But it was late and I wasn't like I wasn't running it, obviously. It was your stream. That's why I wasn't running it. I wasn't on it. And I think I had done like something that all the way up to that point too, because you started at like 8. It's one of your quizzes, but then you were bantering after the quiz. Might have been part of your 7-hour one, to be honest. Was the 7-hour one the one that you did for when you hit 1,000 subscribers? It's the celebration one. Because I think I was on there for a while. I don't remember though. I was tired. I think it'd be funny too for you guys to see me really, really tired. I've been told that I get like extremely silly when I'm really tired. Disco says I did it for St. Francis Hospice in Havering at Bower. Havering at Bower, is that how I say that right? And I ran the event. Oh, Disco. I don't know if you should have told me that because I might need to tap into your brain now. And that might be a scary prospect. Mick MacArthur asked, have you ever watched Allo Allo? No, but I have heard that I should. That it's really funny. I will add it to the list. And by the way, I got your email. So I will reply so that however it works. Hopefully it works for you. TJ says, I can't remember. I've blocked it out. I think the key will be no wild turkey. And Lots of coffee, obviously. And probably sugar to keep me going as well. Disco says, what brain? Still Game, funniest TV show ever. Are you saying Still Game is the funniest TV show ever? Or like, is that the name of the TV show? Or is that some British expression? I don't know yet. I never know with you guys. Okay, I always go into the British stuff thinking I always go in thinking someone's making fun of me or trying to take the piss out of me. And then I make them tell me, no, I'm being serious. Because a lot of the time I literally can't tell. Obviously it's harder through, through written word, typewritten word. But it's you guys are so like deadpan when you do that. It's a culture thing and it's really hard for me to pick up on. And just saying yep doesn't help me, Scott. That's the name of the show. I think that's what you're saying. All US reactors who watched Still Game loved it. I'm writing it down. Still Game, because I don't know if that one's been suggested to me yet. So what? Okay, so give me some thumbs up in the chat if you think that the marathon reaction live thing is a good idea. Thumbs down if you don't. And if you have any other thoughts, let me know. BX Kid from the Bronx. Thought it was the best thing he'd ever seen. Okay. Got it. It'll be on the list. So thumbs up or thumbs down on what you guys think of this idea. And it's not even really about a lot of people watching. It's more about me challenging myself and seeing if we can raise some money. I got one thumbs up. Mick MacArthur, you gave me a thumbs up before, so I'm just going to assume it's the same. You had 2 thumbs up. So I know a lot of people, like Twitch streamers, that do stuff like this. And I have been toying with having our lives be on Twitch as well. I'm wondering if it would be a good, like, mirror or launch dual stream. Where's Sam K? How come he's not here? He knows about that stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. Sorry, TJ, you're outnumbered. So, TJ, since you think it's such a terrible idea, I have 5 thumbs up now. Oh, Diane's so sweet, as long as you think it's not too much for you. I always overwhelm myself, Diane. I don't know how to live any other way. I know I haven't seen Sam K for a while either. Wonder if he's okay. TJ, if I did it, would you consider co-hosting with me for a couple hours? Probably not. Disco's got tons of thumbs ups. I'm sorry, you're outnumbered, TJ. I think I'm gonna have to do it. Disco, you're awesome. You send me all kinds of reacts. If you could send me some tips and pointers, ideas. I know you have a lack of free time at the moment because you got other stuff going on, but if you think of anything, no pressure. Depends on the day and time. Well, yeah, we'll work something. I got it. Like I said, this is going to take some prepping, so I can't leave it. But if you guys have reacts, that Disco's cheating. If you guys have some if if you guys have some ideas of some reacts you want to see, then make sure that you send them to me. Email them at hicksondiaries@gmail.com. Make sure you put, react in the subject or something, because just so make it easier, I can start compiling them. And also, don't, if you can, avoid leaving them in the comments and email me instead, just because in case I don't get to it in time, or so I try to at least read all the comments, but I'm not always in a situation where I can, save the comment or anything like that. So if you definitely have ideas that we haven't done yet, or if you wanted to just send your ideas and I'll cull through it and see if we've done it or not yet. Or specific episodes, even if we have done it. And even if you want to challenge me and make me watch stuff that you think I'll hate or you think might trigger me, just to see my reaction. Some people like to do stuff like that. You guys are usually pretty good though. Yeah. Do the RAF regiment on YouTube. Is there a specific video, Falco? Or is it about something specific? Or is it like maybe it's about their training or something? Yeah, Disco, you know what to do with that comment. What's the deadline for the React request by email? When do you plan to do this? I don't have a plan yet. But I'm definitely going to do it, and I'm going to have to work out timing and stuff. So just email me, no deadline, because even if I can't do it in time for this marathon thing, I have a folder of just like React suggestions, and I pull them out whenever I need a React. So or whenever I'm looking for something, to do, if I have a subject matter and want that it refers to or whatever. So don't ever hesitate. If you have an idea, you have a thought, you have ideas for the channel, for the website, for any of that stuff, or you just want to see a certain kind of content or anything, it's probably better to email it to me, just because it will be, like I said, it'll be in my email folders and everything. It'll be easier for me to find when I need it at the moment. Comments, there's a lot of them and I don't always get to all of them. And also, since we're here, since I thought of it, don't forget to visit us at hicksondiaries.com. It's a good time. I think so. We're revamping, we're adding stuff all the time. We're changing stuff around. We're trying to figure it out. I'm working with someone to help me make it a little bit more interactive for y'all, so y'all have stuff like more to do than just read or buy. But again, it takes time, and you know how it is. It's a 2-minute long video. All right, I'll look for it. Royal Navy gun race or manning the mast. Did you send those to me, Disco? Because they sound familiar. The chandelier scene and the one of Dell falling through the bar. Okay, you guys have to email me this. I will include some Only Fools and Horses reacts in this marathon for you guys, because it's for a good cause. But you got to email it to me. Yeah, I thought you did, Disco. I thought I remember you seeing emails from you on those. So email it to me, Manny, so that I'll include it. If you don't email it to me, I won't include it. I'm not gonna write down Only Fools and Horses. But if you email it to me, I'll do it. Because it's you. Because you asked me, you're a member and you're loyal and you're sweet and I'll write it down. Manning the man. Only Fools and Horses. Chandelier. Dell through bar. This is how much I love you guys and how much I believe in this cause, that I'm actually going to put these Only Fools and Horses on there. Royal gun race is awesome. Well, I'm interested in that, actually. Yeah, I know you were joking, Disco, because you and I know you, and I know that you're just trying to like bait me. But Manny, now. And Diane says they're both brilliant scenes, and especially love the chandelier one. I know there's some good ones out there, I guess. Maybe I'll be so tired and delirious that they'll be funny. How about some mothers do have them roller skates clip? Some mothers do have them? That's what it's called? No, there isn't. What do you mean? There's nothing funny about Only Fools and Horses? Because I agree with. Steven says, check out Kunk on Britain. Well, I like her. Is that, but I think I saw the series. I saw a series that she did, but I know she's done other stuff too. I might have done Kunk. I might have seen Kunk on Life. But I'll double whichever one I didn't see. There's a funny and a true story behind the chandelier scene in Only Fools and Horses. Michael Crawford, who played Phantom of the Opera, was in Some Mothers Do Have Them. You know what? Now that you say that, because I remember the Michael Crawford comment, I was talking to someone about, I don't know what I was talking to them about, but they had mentioned a TV sitcom that Michael Crawford was in way before Phantom, and they had mentioned that because they know I'm a musical person, and they had mentioned that to me, and I was like, oh really? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what he's famous for. He's not famous for being like an opera singer and stuff. And I was like, oh, so I was like, I'd like to see that. So there we go. That's on my list. Yeah, you can't just dangle it in front of us, Manny, and not deliver. All right. So tell us a story, and I'll read it out loud. Kong on Christmas. She's hilarious, by the way. Philomena Kong. Billy Connolly or Lee Evans. Pretty much goes without saying, but I'll write it down. He did his own stunts. He did. Interesting. Well, he's got an incredible voice and he was really good in Phantom. But that's really all I know in all fairness. On the buses. What does that mean? Do the RAF regiment. I have RAF regiment written down. It's a 2-minute clip. I have it written down. This is all gonna go in the marathon thing. Al Murray, right? Obviously. Al Murray, Frankie Boyle. I don't know Frankie Boyle, but I think I've seen some video, like I've some thumbnails of him. Mickey Flanagan, seen some of him. Dara O'Brien, because I got told off for not saying it properly. All comedians, love it. Yeah, and then I'll do some I'll mix it up. I'll do some history stuff and things like that too. Maybe some U.S. UK comparison stuff too. We'll mix it up. Okay, we're gonna end on this. Diane, I thought you were giving us the story, Manny. I saw Nicholas Lyndhurst, who played Rodney, give an interview to Michael Parkinson at how the director Ray Butt warned him and David that if they dared laugh, they'd both get fired on the spot. Ouch. Billy Connolly talking about colonoscopy. I feel like I've seen that, Diane. But if I haven't, I'll put it on the list. But I feel like I've done a react to that, to be honest. Do it now, Mandy? Oh, it's only 2 minutes. You want me to do it now? Sure. Let's end on something not gun. I said not gun related. One sec, guys. My keyboard. RAF Regiment. No. I have, is RAF Regiment really elite? Actually elite. British RAF Regiment explained in 1 minute. RAF Regiment Potential Gunner and Officer Selection Course. Which one you want? These are all like 1 to 3 minutes. There's a bunch. Jeez, you need to be a little more specific. RAF Regiment. There's a bunch, guys. The 75th anniversary, that's 4 minutes. Royal Air Force Police. I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more from you, Falco, if you want to do it before I go to bed. I've seen Twerf on the bus, Manny. Hilarious. Bye, Disco. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You're awesome. RAF Regiment Elite. They stag airports. Falco will get this. All right. Drill KQS. I'm writing it down. We're going to do it next week because we're losing some people and me, to be honest. But I'm writing it down. We'll do it next week, Falco. We'll open with that. Scout's honor. Fingers crossed. I don't know if that's right. Cross my heart and hope to die. I think that's how you do it. I don't know. Anyways, I have it written down. We will open with that next week. I guarantee it, Falco. So we make sure on time so that we can watch this RAF thing that Falco has suggested. And with that, I'm going to have to take my leave as well. I hope everyone is safe. Disco, best of luck to your son in his football match. I hope it goes well. Everybody, I know we talked about something kind of heavy today, but I appreciate you. I appreciate all of your opinions and having a discussion and being able to be respectful and have an open discussion. That's how we can change the world, and maybe we'll help change somebody else's point of view on guns at some point if they see this. Thank you all so much for all of your support and everything that you do for the channel. For me, I couldn't have done this journey without you, and every day I'm thankful that I have you guys. So thank you so much. Love you all. Please make sure that you take care of yourselves, stay safe, and all the best for a great week. I'll see you next week, and we're going to try to make the show even better then, but only if you guys are there. So make sure you tune in. Love you all. Night.